What's up, you guys? So right now we did stop at Dead Man Off-Road. We're gonna go ahead and kind of let them talk about their products, which they're freaking awesome. At the end, if you guys do want to go ahead and purchase something, check it out. It'll be in the description box below. You can also check their Instagram there. So let's go ahead and just let them talk about it.
All right, hey, so I'm Sam with Dead Man Off-Road, and this behind me is the Dead Man Earth Anchor. It's something you might have seen on other YouTube videos where people can actually bury this in the sand or the snow, and it acts kind of like a fish hook, right? So you dig a hole about 18 inches deep, you backfill that hole with sand or snow, kind of tamp it down, and then you're trying to drag that amount of sand or snow towards your vehicle. What happens is it hits the front wall of that hole, right, and creates the resistance you need to actually get yourself unstuck, right? So the anchor itself is incredibly tough and incredibly strong. Each of the 4 straps is rated at 15,000 pounds, right? So when you bring those 4 straps together, you're rated at 60,000 pounds. It's not just a ground anchor, right? So this is something that you can actually wrap around a rock or wrap around a tree and recover yourself that way. So if you're in a situation where you need to be recovered, start getting creative, right? Looking for something that you can anchor to. So the anchor itself is rated at 15,000 pounds for each of the 4 straps, right? But when you bring them together and say you were to wrap them around a tree, right? And then winch to that, that's rated at 60,000 pounds. We call that a basket configuration, right? You can also use it like a winch line extension, right? So you got 2 vehicles. This thing is 15 feet end to end. I'm now at 33,000 pounds between the 2 vehicles, right? So the idea is that this is a very versatile tool that you can add to your recovery kit, maybe even remove some stuff from your recovery kit and use this instead. You have a tree saver, you don't need it anymore, right? You have a sand anchor, you don't need that anymore. So one tool, tons of uses, right? The anchor itself wraps up into what we call the body bag, right? It weighs about 7 pounds, and you put this on the outside of your rig. You always want your recovery gear easy to get to. You don't want to bury it in the back seat and have to empty the contents of your back seat to get your stuff, right? Keep it on the outside of the rig. If you've got MaxTrax, these nice long straps go right through the handholds on your MaxTrax, right? So no additional way to attach it to the rig. You just use what you've got, right? Like I said, 7.5 pounds, but there's extra room in here for other things. So if you want to make this the foundation of your recovery kit, you throw in a couple soft shackles, a bow shackle, maybe a snatch block, you're good to go, right? Because you can see it's got tons of extra room. It's not like a tent where you need a small child to jump on it to get it closed again, right? Zip this thing up, and it's pretty well weatherproof, right? It will endure the direct sunlight for a nice long, summer here in Arizona. We have tons of people that have these outside 365 days a year, no problem. The logo might fade a little bit. Okay, I talked about the strength in the straps, right? And we're so confident that we have not only a lifetime guarantee on this thing, so you make it fail, I'm gonna replace it, right? Yeah. But we are so confident in the strength of those straps that we actually have written it right on there, right? So any decent recovery gear, guys, is gonna have really well-marked labels. They're gonna last a long time, because 5 years down the road, you don't wanna have to guess what the weight rating is. It should be clearly marked on here, right? Written right here, the 60,000 pounds and the 30,000 pounds, depending on whether it's the straight line or straight pull or the basket configuration.
Now that you talked about that awesome product, I know you guys also offer other things, and I want you to talk about that.
With the anchor, we have 2 different versions of soft shackle that you might need, right? Because you've got to attach that anchor to your winch line. So we have what we call a ruggedized soft shackle here that's got some more abrasion resistant sheathing on it. This one's rated at 43,000 pounds. Our standard soft shackle is rated at 30,000. These are both, again, American-made products. We've also got kinetic ropes. This is a kinetic rope for the kinetic recoveries that are so popular these days. That's where the first vehicle gets kind of a running start and transfers that energy to the second vehicle. We have 2 different lengths of kinetic rope, 20 foot and 30 foot, and 2 different thicknesses. We have a 1 1/16 for the larger size rigs, and we have a 7/8 for the mere mortals. I drive an 8,000 pound Tundra. For me, the 7/8 is plenty. The kinetic rope actually fits into what we call the body bag, right? So this body bag can be used for the anchor or the kinetic rope, either one. But again, we want you to make this the basis or the foundation of your recovery kit. Again, plenty of room when it has a kinetic rope in it, plenty of room for other things, right? This orange rope here, we call a dead loop, right? Tow truck drivers have used these for years. They call it maybe an infinite loop, something like that. But the idea is that this is something for non-traditional recovery. So if you need to attach to a rig that maybe doesn't have very obvious recovery points, this is something that you could wrap around a slider, let's say, or maybe the bumper if it's attached directly to the frame, and then you've got another tool in your kit to help you recover, right? This is rated at 17,000 pounds. Double it over on itself, obviously, and it just becomes a math equation. Now we're at 34,000 pounds, and you could keep going from there if you needed to. So this is the last thing we offer. This is the Crazy Beaver Murder Spork. This is actually something we're reselling for another manufacturer, another American-made product. This thing has an aluminum shaft and stainless steel head on it. This thing is pretty rad. It is up to the task no matter what you're doing. They actually chop wood with this when they come to the expo. I've used it personally on a Tread Lightly trail cleanup I did near San Bernardino. We We were removing illegal fire pits from Lytle Creek, if you guys know that. They were frozen over. It was in January, so we had to chip away the ice in order to get to the rocks to remove them. This thing I used probably for 2 hours straight. It was awesome. Didn't budge an inch. Very cool tool.
So of course, now that you heard about all their products, like I had told you guys, if you do want to purchase anything, make sure to check out the description box below because I've linked everything and it's worth the look. You can also check out their Instagram and just kind of get an idea on how everything works as well. So check out their pictures, right?
Absolutely, man. So deadmanoffroad.com or deadman_offroad on social media. We got free stickers if nothing else. Come on by and say hi.
Heck yeah. All right, you guys, so we swung over right here in Diode Dynamics booth. We're gonna go ahead and let them talk about kind of like their lightings and stuff like that. As you guys do know, I have a bunch of their lights on my Tacoma, so you guys can check that out, of course. But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of let him go a little bit more in depth on what they offer and stuff like that.
First of all, thank you for the support. We appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. As always.
But yeah, we are Diode Dynamics. My name's James. I work in wholesale. This right here is probably our core lineup. This is kind of where we got our start in off-road. It all started with the SS3. This is what probably running in your taco, I'm sure.
Yep.
Really made a name for ourselves with the fog pattern. Super bright, about 80 degrees in width and road legal.
Yeah.
So what really makes our lights special, all of them, light bars, pods, is our optic. So we use the TIR optic. We were the first in the industry as far as off-road goes to assemble lights with this optic. I'll also add that these are all assembled in St. Louis, not right here, but in the USA still. And our lineup has grown over the years. So like I said, it started with this bigger one, the SS3. We also have the SSC2 and the SSC1. So this is a 4 LED pod, 2 LED pod, single LED pod. Yep. More recently, we came out with an SS5, which I think you guys said.
That one's,
you have one on
it's a good size, on the RAV4.
yeah, so that's our bigger pod, about 5 to 6 inch form factor. That one just came out. SS3 now is backlight too. As you can see, all these pods have a backlight, and that's kind of unique in the industry as well. Like I said, this is our core lineup. You see this on fog lights, is ditch lights. I'm starting to see these smaller ones a lot more for scene or chase lights. So those are some great applications for those. Yeah, light bars. So these have been around for a little bit. Now they really didn't get as much hype as our pods when they came out, but it's still a solid performer in our lineup.
And I actually have one of those as well.
Yeah, I mean it's still a solid performer. This also uses TIRs. The pods, we do have off-road and on-road beam patterns. So again, it's been around, but still a great performer in the industry. As far as new products go, this is one we're super excited about. This is our rock light coming this year, later on this year.
Which I'm sure a lot of people are excited about and have been asking you guys about.
Everyone wants a rock light, and everyone wants a good one too. There's a lot out there on the market, but there's not a lot that are reliable, well-built, and bright. So
exactly,
we want to address that. Diode Dynamics is definitely known for performance and reliability. It's exactly what we intend to bring to the market with this.
And I'm looking forward to it as well.
Oh yeah, we can't. We cannot wait to get a set in your hands. I'm sure you'll love it.
And another thing too, I know as far as like almost all your lightings, and I think your guys' fog lights as well. One, they're plug and play for the fog lights.
That's right.
But everything else, you guys have like Max, Pro, and of course Sport, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. So these pods do come in different power levels. So these, for example, you get in Sport or Pro, and all that's really coming down to is different brightness levels. So Sport is our entry model. If you need or want something brighter, Pro is there. And then for the SS3, we have Sport, Pro, and the Max, which you mentioned. So Max being the top dog, cream of the crop. We put it up against anyone.
They're bright, and I have a couple of those, the Max and
the Maxes.
They're awesome.
Yeah, it's very bright, but still a great focus beam pattern if you're using them on road. And that's due to the smaller chip size. So
I'd probably say, I don't know if you can correct me on this or not, but probably I guess that medium Pro is probably what everyone mainly buys, correct?
I would say, Sport or Pro are probably the most popular.
Okay.
A lot of people who are new to lighting, who are kind of hesitant to spend more money on lighting, usually start with the Sports.
Okay.
And then they catch the bug, and then they start
they
upgrading to the
there.
Max, and then they add the C2s and the SSC1s and the SS5s. So
and that's kind of the same bug I got from bottom to top. It's cool. Now I have pretty much each level you guys offer, so it's cool.
Lighting can kind of be an afterthought. But once you see what like real
it does.
quality performance lighting can do, and especially from a safety perspective too, it can make
It's
a big
awesome.
difference.
Yeah, you don't want to go back after that.
Right, right.
And another thing too that I think I remember, you guys also offer them in colors, right? Like blue and red or something like that.
Yeah, so you're probably referring to our backlights here.
Yeah, that.
I would say amber is
Okay.
the most popular overall, definitely road legal.
Yeah.
But we see a lot of the red being used for like reverse applications,
Okay.
flush mount, that sort of thing. Blue, not super popular, but it's nice to have that.
yeah.
I would say red and blue mainly go to our EMS dealers.
Yeah.
We do have kits too, so like a lot of
Cool.
people wire those to a running light or brake
Yeah.
light. So if you have them in the rear, you can get that added functionality
Cool.
of an extra running light or brake light.
Cool. Well,
Another great addition.
I appreciate you talking about the product, and if you guys are curious, check out the description box below because I'll link everything there, so you guys can go ahead and read up on that. I'll also leave their Instagram if you guys kind of want to get an idea on how it'll look on your vehicle. They always post a lot of stuff on different vehicles, stuff like that with their lightings, so you can check that out. So once again, thank you.
We
I
appreciate it, guys. Thanks so
All right.
much.
So I'll see you guys in the next booth. Let's go.